Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are going to continue a little bit from the previous lesson. We are going to see points to remember from the previous lesson. In this lesson, we learned the following. Inna. In Arabic, there are two types of sentences. The nominal sentence, al-jumlatul ismiyatu. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are going to have a look at the lessons we learned from the previous lesson. This is Book 3, Madina Arabic Reader, Book 3. So here are a few points to remember from lesson number 1. In this lesson, we learned the following. Inna. In Arabic, there are two types of sentences. There is a nominal sentence and there is a verbal sentence. Nominal sentence is called the Jumla Ismiya and the verbal sentence is the Jumla Fi'liya. In Jumla Ismiya, the first word is a noun. In Jumla Ismiya, first word is a noun. Al-Kitabu Sahlun. The book is easy. Al-Kitabu Sahlun. The book is easy. The noun which commences the nominal sentence is called the Mubtada. And the second part is called the Khabar. So, Al-Kitabu is the Mubtada and Sahlun is the Khabar. A verbal sentence, Jumla Fi'liya, where the first word is a verb. Jumla Fi'liya, where the first word is a verb. Kharaja Bilalun. Kharaja Bilalun. Bilal went out. Or if we translate it literally, went out Bilal. Went out Bilal. In order to practice mentally, to remember that in a Jumla Fi'liya, the first word is the verb. Sometimes it is good if you practice went out Bilal so that you remember, because otherwise it will take a long time for you to remember that in Arabic, always the verb is the first word in the sentence. In a Jumla Fi'liya, we start with the verb and then the door and the action. Action, door and detail. So it takes a lot of practice getting used to it, because normally we don't say it in other languages, in English especially, and even in Urdu, we don't say, we don't use the verb as the first word. So this is something very unique and different and challenging, because it takes a bit of getting used to. You have to get used to the fact that you have to say the verb before you say rest of the things. So you have to mention the action before everything else. This takes a bit of getting used to. It isn't difficult. It's just we're not used to it. We're not in the habit. We just need to break the habit of thinking that it is following the same pattern as our own language. It isn't difficult. If we tell ourselves it is difficult, then it will become difficult. If we tell ourselves, no, it is just a different pattern, it will just take a bit of getting used to. That's it. So this is going to take a bit of getting used to. It is not difficult. That a Jumla Fi'liya starts with a verb. The verb is the first word and then everything else follows. Kharaja Bilalun. And then if you have to add where did he go out from, or where, and then what happened next, everything follows afterwards in the sentence. But first you will say Kharaja Bilalun. Maybe from the masjid, or went to his house, whatever. Everything else follows. But first word will be the verb, that he went out. So the particle inna is used at the beginning of a nominal sentence. Particle inna is used at the beginning of a nominal sentence. Innal kitaba sahlun. Al-kitabu sahlun becomes innal kitaba sahlun. Why did al-kitabu become al-kitaba? Because of inna. That you have to note that the noun after inna is mansoob. It has a ending. After the introduction of inna, the mubtada is no longer called mubtada, but is instead called ismu inna, and the khabar is called khabru inna. Inna signifies emphasis. It can be translated as indeed, surely, no doubt, verily. And sometimes it can also be absolutely. Indeed, surely, no doubt, verily, or absolutely. Note the following. If the mubtada has one dhamma, it changes to one fatha after inna. The example is al-mudarrisu jadidun. So it becomes innal mudarrisa jadidun. Aminatu talibatun. Inna aminata talibatun. If the mubtada has two dhammas, they change to two fathas. Inna hamidan maridun. Hamidun maridun. Inna hamidan maridun. If the mubtada is a pronoun, it changes to its corresponding mansoob form. Anta ghaniyun. Innaka ghaniyun. Anta ghaniyun. Innaka ghaniyun. For the mansoob forms of all the pronouns, we have to go back and revise if you haven't done it already. Note that the pronouns of the first person singular and plural have two forms. Inni, innani, inna, innana. La'alla, this is also a particle like inna. It is called one of the sisters of inna. Grammatically, it acts like inna. It signifies hope or fear. Example, al-jawwu jamilun, the weather is fine. La'alla al-jawwa jamilun. La'alla al-jawwa jamilun. So I hope the weather is fine. In that, the al-jawwu becomes al-jawwa. The weather becomes mansoob. Al-mudarrisu maridun, the teacher is sick. La'alla al-mudarrisa maridun. La'alla al-mudarrisa maridun. I'm afraid the teacher is sick. In this lesson, we have examples of I hope only. Then we go to zu. This word means having or possessing. Zu malin, possessing wealth or wealthy. Zu khulukin, possessing manners, well-mannered. Zu ilmin, possessing knowledge or learned. It is always mudaf, and the following word is mudaf ilayh, and therefore it is majroor. The feminine of zu is zatu. Bilalun zu ilmin wa ukhtuhu zatu khulukin. Bilal is learned and his sister is well-mannered. The plural of zu is zavu, and that of zatu is zawatu. Hazat talibu zu khulukin. Ha'ula'it tullabu zavu khulukin. Hazihi talibatu zatu khulukin. Ha'ula'it talibatu zawatu khulukin. And if we want to practice it, to get flow in our speech, we can say this 20, 30, 40, 100 times if we want. Haza talibu zu khulukin. Ha'ula'i tulabu zavu khulukin. Hazihi talibatu zatu khulukin. Ha'ula'i talibatu zawatu khulukin. So if you think they are a bit heavy on your tongue, if you say them multiple times, they will become fluent. You will get a flow. It means or, but only in an interrogative sentence. Atabibun anta am muhandisun? Are you a doctor or an engineer? Amin Firansa hua am minal mania? Is he from France or Germany? Abilalan ra'aita am Hamidan? Did you see Bilal or Hamid? Note that the particle a precedes one of the two things before the question is asked, while precedes the other. So it is wrong to say Anta mudarrisun am talibun. Anta mudarrisun am talibun. Azahabta ila Makkata am Judda. The correct construction is Mudarrisun anta am talibun. Ila Makkata zahabta am ila Juddata. So let's have a look at it again. The particle a precedes one of the two things before which the question is asked, while precedes the other. So it is wrong to say anta mudarrisun am talibun. So here first we saw atabibun anta am muhandisun. Amin firansa hua am minal mania. Abilalan ra'aita am hamidan. Anta mudarrisun am talibun is wrong, because it will precede the two things that are being questioned. So it won't be anta. It will be a mudarrisun. A mudarrisun. Because the difference, the things being questioned are mudarris or talib. Are you a mudarris or a talib? Teacher or a student? So the question alif or the hamza that will precede mudarris, because the difference we want to learn is between mudarris and talib. So the hamza will not come before anta. It will come before the two things that are being compared, the two things that are under question. So anta is not under question. Question is whether it is a teacher or a student. Teacher or student. Teacher or student. So amudarrisu anta am talib. Amudarrisu anta am talib. Ila makkata zahabta am ila juddata. In a non-interrogative sentence, aw is used for or, and is used for an interrogative sentence.